Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Threesome FPL podcast. We are back to normality a little bit. I'm out of the playroom, out of isolation, and hopefully COVID free. I'm here with Mike. How are you, Mike? Muted is the answer. How are you, Mike? Classy
Good start.
And how are you?
Well, I will just start by saying, A, lovely to see you boys. It has been a while. And B, mate, good to see you looking and sounding better, mate.
Means a lot. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's been a
COVID
weird few
free now, I hope.
days. Yeah. Although I had the fun and games of testing negative on Thursday and thinking, woohoo, freedom. I
Yeah.
actually tested negative twice on Thursday because I did one at lunch and one in the evening, just for peace of mind. And then by Friday, I had 3 positive tests again. So make of that what you will. So it meant I had to stay in all weekend. So that was annoying.
Well, that is annoying, and also the tests aren't reliable. And also, of course, at the end of this month, COVID is no more, according to Boris. So feels like
Yes,
you just wasted your time. So that's good.
does feel that way. Yeah. Boris said COVID is due to
Yeah,
finish end of this month. So
good
that's good.
news. Happy days.
Mike, how are you?
Hi, sorry about that. I was trying to work out what D4 damage is.
D4
and
damage
behaviour.
out to the people.
back once again for the Renegade Master. D4 damage with the ill behavior. Do you know what D4 damage is?
Hang on. D for damage. It's what you would say if you were asking Bob Holness for a letter on Blockbusters. D for damage, please, Bob.
No, it's not. No, it's actually from the game Dungeons and Dragons. There are different dies that you can get when you get killed. D4 damage is one of the ways you can die.
Well, we've done our education.
We've learned something today.
There you go. So yes, but I am back once again for that Renegade Master. You, Phil, being our Renegade Master. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Yeah, being the anchor of the show.
Thank you. I've
Rude,
been called
but-
many things. So we're previewing the big double game week 26, shortly. We've got a quiz coming up, and we'll quickly go over how our weeks went. So, Ant, how'd you get on? You've called yourself on the screen here below average. So, how'd you get on?
That's probably a clue. Below average again, boys. 44. Dear, oh dear. Brought in De Gea, of course. United had with any team, or along with Brighton, to have the double game week. So I brought him in. He got 10 points. Other than that, boys, just Bowen. Bowen again, flying high for West Ham, 13 points. Other than that, ones and twos, boys. Again, Sir Maximan, who is the best thing since sliced bread, but he doesn't get you any FPL points, does he? Just the 2, even though he continues to rip teams to shreds. So lost further ground on you boys now. I am properly marooned. 90 points behind Mike and 180 now behind you, Phil. So
can I just leap to the fence of Alan St. Maximan, because I have him in my team, and he's got 2 9s and a 5 in 3 of his last 5 game weeks. So I think he does.
Oh, he does. No, he does. But I watched him on Sunday, and he did everything but score, didn't he? He was an absolute live wire. Everything went through him. Couldn't have done any more, I don't think. But yeah, just a frustration that he just picked up the 2 points on the week that I captained him. So thanks for that.
That's going to blow a bit, yeah.
And the thing I liked about St. Maximus is obviously it was only a 1-0 win, wasn't it? And in the last minute, he had the chance to take the ball to the corner, and he didn't. He went. He ran through on goal and tried scoring. Love that about him. Eddie won't, but yeah.
The thing that amazes me about Newcastle is I saw a stat. That's the first time they've won 3 games on the trot since 2018. So that properly shows that's the Eddie Howe effect, I think, isn't it, boys? Which we predicted weeks ago when they announced him that Newcastle would be absolutely fine, and I will stick with that. So pleased for them. Another good win for them. But for my points, boys, it doesn't get any better, I'm afraid. There's no signs of me picking up any decent scores anytime soon. So yeah, miles behind you now, boys. So it's a botto off, I think, here for the winner.
It's still possible, mate. It's still possible. The comeback is on. Just be positive.
13 game weeks to go, so it's going to take an unbelievable recovery from here, or a monumental lapse from you boys.
Excellent use of your chips and wildcard and stuff like that. Chips we'll get onto, no doubt, with the double game week coming up. Mike, talking of chips, how was your week?
who has the best chips, McDonald's, KFC, or Burger King?
Oh, Burger King, I'm going to go for.
I hate Burger King.
Me too.
But I do like their chips.
Yeah, I don't mind their chips. I don't like KFC's chips.
I'm McDonald's through and through on chips.
Okay, I prefer a chip shop, to be honest.
Salty good. Oh, for shizzle. Anyway, but that wasn't my question.
Chunky.
Anyway, yeah, how was my game week? Thank you. It was okay, thank you. 61 points I topped out at, which was okay. A few disappointments in there. So I had no De Bruyne, who I'd captained. He ended up with 0 because I didn't have players playing. So Cancelo was rested as well. Tony was injured. So I actually only had 10 players represent me this week. De Gea did all right. I doubled up on De Gea. I bought him in. So I said I was going to make no transfers. I used my free transfers. I bought De Gea in, which was actually a reasonable move. Got me 10. Trent and Robertson. Robertson continues to do nicely for me. A 6 and a 7. Lamperty finally came good for me. 12 points, but didn't start last night, weirdly.
No, it came on.
Yeah, it came on after an hour. Zaha was my vice captain. Probably not the best use of a vice captain. He got me 6. Bowen 13. Coutinho 2. Jota 1. Antonio 2. And St. Maximin 2. But 61. So I'm happy enough. I thought I don't want to go all Encanto on you, but we don't talk about Bruno. No, because
never seen it. Means nothing. Means nothing to me. That.
Nor me, but I've heard the song on repeat
very annoying.
for the last 6 weeks. I was a bit frustrated. I'm not going to lie when I saw that he'd hit a last minute home to Brighton, because I think up until that point, me and you, Phil, probably would have been there or thereabouts for points, and I was actually thinking I was going to close the gap on you a bit this game week.
Yeah.
But go on, talk us through it.
Jammy old Philip.
I mean, it reminded me of, there was a time last season where I didn't have Bruno at the time. I think you did, Mike. And there was a game, maybe it was last season, where the full-time whistle blew, and then maybe it was Mike Dean. I'm saying it's Mike Dean because he's my go-to ref. But then VAR said, "Oh, actually, there was a handball or something." So they called it back and restarted the game with a penalty, last-minute penalty that Bruno scored. Do you remember that week?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do remember it. Yeah. And I did have Bruno.
Yeah, I remember you enjoying that. I mean, I had Bruno in my team. I took a -4 to get Bruno in my team this week because I had Kane, and as we discussed last week, I don't know where he came from. But I mean, immediately as soon as the game week started, I remembered that I shouldn't have Bruno in my team because he's a big whinging man and he is petulant and irritating, and he should have been sent off for moaning in the first game of the weekend. And last night, I believe he got booked for moaning at the ref. But yeah, I was grateful of the points coming in. I had Cucurella, who had 7. I've had Cucurella for a while. Cucurella, Trent, and Dallo at the back all got me points. Bowen, Fernandez, I captained, and De Gea. So I ended up on 78, take away 4, 74. So yeah, it's
very nice.
A green arrow. Yet again, Dawson on my bench got points that I didn't claim.
What, with his handball goal?
With his handball goal, yeah.
It wasn't
7
handball
points on my bench there. Apparently not.
What's the point of that?
So, yeah, very strange. Well, it hit his sleeve, didn't it? And then
I thought they said that. Oh, was it? Oh, okay. Well, I thought they said the opposite. I thought they said that was handball, but maybe not.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Anyway,
grey area, that one.
So can I just give some context then to these scores to sort of say where we are in the season? Yeah, well, just so the listeners understand. So Phil sits currently on 1,420 points, 73 behind him, as I was, I believe, at the start of the game week. I am on 1,347.
That obviously can't be true.
No, it is because I think did you not take a hit?
Yeah, 4 points.
Well, there you go then. Yeah. Anyway, and
this is like you on Countdown all over again.
6 minus 3 is 3.
And then 105 behind me, just to give context, Anthony Kellett on 1,242.
Dear.
But Mike, you've played like most of your chips, haven't you?
Oh, you played all of them. No, I haven't played triple captain. That's the one I'm saving.
Oh, is this the week? We'll get onto that, I'm sure.
Okay, let's cheer ourselves up. How did your punts get on, gents? A player with less than 2% ownership that we suggested people should go for.
I had the woodchopper, and he was absolutely useless. So nothing from me. Mike, you remembered this week?
Yeah, I think I went with Lanzini. But I don't think he did anything. I haven't looked.
He didn't.
No, he didn't. No, I'm afraid.
Okay, fine.
Bowen got a goal and assist.
Yeah. Well, Boys, what a week it's been for
Oh, here he is, Mr. Smug.
Philly B, who finally gets a punt win and went Webster of Brighton, who got
Wow.
15 or 16 points in the end
Yeah.
because he scored and kept a clean sheet at the weekend and got another point last night. So
Great shout, mate. Well done.
that means I get to organise the quiz this week,
Well, that's exciting.
which is good. And good news, boys, the quiz has a jingle.
Oh,
Are
good.
you ready for this?
Super ready.
Let's do it.
Oh, it's time for play or cheese. It's the player, it's the cheese. Cloud Rockford, Montgomery, Bree don't sound like real players to me. It's time for player or cheese. It's the player, it's the cheese. Gibna Beta, you will see, is a speciality to Sudanese. Oh, it's time for player or cheese. It's the player, it's the cheese. Oh, it's time for player or cheese. If you know your cheese, it'll be a breeze. There we go, boys.
Wow. The return, the much anticipated / feared return of player or cheese.
Oh, my ears
Yeah.
are bleeding.
That little trail that was indicative perhaps of how long the last game went on for. Dragged slightly.
Hey, FPL Harry watching along says golden. So, you know.
Is it?
He may not have seen player or cheese.
He might be talking about the colour of the cheese. Okay, well
Yeah.
let's crack on, shall we?
It's a very simple game. Boys, it's a penalty shootout. You get 5 each. I'll give you a name. Their surname, they will either be a genuine player available on Fantasy Football on the FPL website, or their surname, or I'll have made a fake player effectively with their surname being a cheese. Okay, a genuine cheese from around the world. So this will test both your cheese knowledge and your FPL knowledge. Okay, so who's going first?
Well, I'll let you choose, mate. Do you want to go first? Second?
I'll go second, please.
All right. Hit me up first. Let's do it.
Oh, it's hard not to just sing that jingle again. I'll play it at the end as a treat. So Michael, Samuel Kalou.
Now there was a Solomon Kalou who played for Chelsea. Is there what's his first name? You're saying
Samuel. Maybe don't Google it if that's all right.
I'm not going to Google it. Samuel Kalou. I'm going to say that's cheese.
Samuel Kalou is a 5 million midfielder for Watford.
Wow.
Bad start.
Okay, it's disappointing.
Okay. One of the 400 midfielders for Watford. No wonder you haven't heard of him. Good grief.
Yeah. All right, fair play.
Good start for me. Good.
Okay. Anthony. Algar Bergkasser.
I mean, if that is a player, what a name that is. So I'm going to go cheese.
It's a German mountain cheese made in the Alps. Well done. 1-0 you.
Come on.
Lovely.
Everyone knew that one.
Glad I went second.
Mike.
Yeah.
James or James Casseri. James or James Casseri.
Player.
He's gone player. He's confident on that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a Greek sheep cheese.
Oh, for flip's sake.
Oh, Casseri. He's 2-0 down. He's none for 2. And
yes.
Oh, dairy me.
Dairy me. Very good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, it's so good to be back.
Slovenska Paranika. Player or cheese? Is it a player? Is it cheese? Oh, it's time for player. Anyway.
Oh, it's so much better when you sing it live. I'm going to go for player.
You're going to go for player. Okay. Slovenska Paranika. I actually gave you a hint because Slovenska is Slovakia. It's a Slovakian cheese.
Oh,
I'm afraid.
wow.
So it was an open goal for you there, and you missed it.
I did. I hit the post.
Still 1-0. Mike.
What a game this is.
Yeah.
John McCracken.
Middle name Phil.
John McCracken. Player.
Do you know there isn't a week goes by that I don't get a tweet from somebody saying, "Oh, can you give a shout out to my brother Phil McCracken?" Honestly.
John McCracken. Player or cheese?
Well, who's going to brand their cheese McCracken? Oh no, I'm going to say it's a cheese.
John McCracken. He's a goalkeeper for Norwich. 4 million.
Oh, what?
Oh,
double bluffed you on the name there.
Oh dear.
Anthony.
Here we go. Come on then.
Marcelo Pitaluga. Marcelo Pitaluga.
Player.
He's going player.
Minimal thought process gone into that. I'm not going to lie.
He is a £4 million goalkeeper for Liverpool. Yes.
Boom.
Marcelo
Mike needs this then.
Pitaluga. Mike needs
this.
this.
Wow.
This is
you can-
exciting
you
and
can
tense
cut,
at the
cut
same
the
time.
tension. Cut the tension with a cheese knife. Let's go.
Well, you don't need this. Hang on, how many have you done?
It
you had
feels
this
like
is
about
his fourth.
500.
This is
Feels
his
like a
fourth.
lot.
This
This
is
is quick
fourth, so you
maths,
do
Phil.
need this.
You
Wow.
please,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow, I got so many more cheeses. Okay. Mike.
Hello.
Tommaso Tomino. Tommaso
Oh.
Tomino.
Is that the
Is he a
Italian Chuckle
player?
Brothers? Is that the Italian Chuckle Brothers catchphrase? Tommaso, Tomino, Tommaso, Tomino.
God, I hope this doesn't go to sudden death.
Oh dear, oh dear. I'm going to say that is cheese. I feel like you've made that name up.
Correct.
Yes.
Oh,
Tomino is a soft cheese available in northern Italy, from where our family
Excellent.
heralds.
Yes.
Anthony.
Yes.
Jarell Quansah. Jarell Quansah. Is he a
I don't
player?
wanna-
Is he cheese?
I don't want to get you in your head there, but I feel like that's got to be a player ant, because why would he make up the name Jarell?
Interesting. You don't think I just went through player names and then chose some first names?
Yeah. I mean, there's no pressure here, but this does win it for me if I get it right. Trying to see through Phil's smirk.
Is he a player? Is he cheese?
Player.
Jarell Quansah is a £4 million defender for Liverpool. He's won the game. We'll do our fifth and just see how much he would have won by, because it's what the crowd want.
Is it?
Right.
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Cheese. No, go on.
Iqbal Nassal or Iqbal Nasal. Iqbal Nassal.
Iqbal. Isn't that French or German for something? Iqbal.
Ich bin is I am in German, but
Yeah.
that's not what I said. Iqbal.
What did you say?
Iqbal. Iqbal. Oh, the tension.
See, I've gone from not caring and just giving a word to now really caring. I'm going to say
this is what player or cheese does to you.
Yeah. I'm going to say cheese.
Iqbal Nassau. It is a cheese. Well done. It's a Romanian cheese named after the small village of Nassau near Cluj. Anthony,
I'll do you a deal. I'll go double or quits with you.
Ooh.
If you get it wrong, you have your captain pick this week. If I get it wrong, if you get it right, I'll have my captain pick for the next two.
That's madness. No way I'm going to do that. I mean, this is just a rarity for me to actually win a quiz.
On a double game week. Double game week. You don't want to be given over risk.
Crucial. I mean, with my 105 point deficit to catch up. Let's do it.
Anthony.
Yes.
Gustav Skripovac. Gustav Skripovac.
Come on, Gustav. That's cheese. Got to be.
It's a Croatian cheese. Congratulations.
Wow. 4-2.
Boys, that was player or cheese.
Here we go.
Oh, it's time for player or cheese. It's the player, it's the cheese. Cloud Rockford, Montgomery, Bree don't sound like real players to me. It's time for player or cheese. It's the player, it's the cheese. Give the beta, you will see as a speciality the Sudanese. Oh, it's time for player or cheese. It's the player, it's the cheese. Oh, it's time for player or cheese. If you know your cheese, it'll be a breeze.
Anthony knew his cheese. That was the difference.
Phil had a lot of time locked in isolation.
Hey, I wrote it this morning, actually, waiting to take my daughter to school.
Lovely. Well,
handwritten. I haven't even stolen the lyrics from anyone.
What a
Who knew?
multitasker.
Who
Who's
knew?
picking Mike's captain this week then, Phil?
That is an excellent question, and it's an answer that will be given later in the week. Because I've spent a long time writing the theme tune to Player or Cheese rather than looking up results.
Has anybody? If ever you're struggling, I've got a little tip for all FPL managers, if that's all right. Actual FPL content.
Hey, I mean, we can try it. See if it goes down well with the masses.
If there's someone in your league that you really want to beat and they're beating you quite heavily, I'm not looking at anybody, Ant, right? But say they're really beating you heavily.
Yeah.
you can report an offensive name. If you click on the league, there's a report offensive name button, and they get booted out.
Well, no.
Right, I'm doing that. That's amazing. I mean,
I've just clicked on it.
No,
So
don't click on it like
I
that.
have clicked on it.
Well, who have you reported?
Well, no one yet, because you have to send the message and submit it. But
yeah,
at the moment,
they're going to
get
say
him out.
it's not
Phil out.
offensive.
well, should we try it?
No. What is my team name? It's like
Are we?
Aerosmith Row.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm properly offended by that.
I'm
Yeah.
offended by it as more of a Guns N' Roses kind of guy. So I might try it, see what happens. Should we do
That's a
that?
good shout,
I
that,
probably wouldn't bother. Anyway, because
Oh, that was an
because-
actual FPL tip.
your FPL tip is to, if you're losing,
Report everybody else. Report everybody else in your league.
by force.
That's amazing.
There you go. FPL Harry says if you report a name that isn't offensive, they'll kick you out.
Right, where do I sign up?
That's very subjective.
Yeah, it's
Well,
true.
it depends
Isn't
what
it?
offends you, I suppose. Should we get on to other FPL content which isn't questionable
Sure.
tips on kicking people out?
Sure.
Seems like a
So-
good tip to me.
Big double game week coming up then, gents. Big double game week. I mean, every time we build up a double game week, it ends in tears for us all, doesn't it? None of
Yes.
us are particularly good. I am terrible at double game weeks. Shall I give you the teams who have got 2 fixtures?
Yes,
Just for
please.
a bit of context. Arsenal have got 2 fixtures. They're at home to Brentford and Wolves. Worth remembering, they then don't have a game next week. Burnley are away at Brighton and then at home to Spurs. Crystal Palace are at home to Chelsea and then away at Watford. Leeds have a tricky double of Man United at home, Liverpool away. Liverpool have a rather enticing double of Norwich at home, Leeds at home. They don't have a fixture the next week.
Mm.
Spurs have City away, Burnley away. Watford have Aston Villa away and Palace at home. And Wolves have Leicester at home and Arsenal away.
Yikes! I mean, picking the bones out of that, you're looking at Liverpool and Arsenal, aren't you? But as you just mentioned, they don't have a game next week. So how do we play this? Do we go 3 assets from each of those, or do you play it safe because they don't have a game the following week, boys? What's your thoughts?
Well, break it down a bit. I mean, a lot of teams have 3 Liverpool players already. Do you both have 3 Liverpool players?
Yeah, I do.
No, I got Salah and TAA.
Okay. So you don't have, who do you have, Mike? You don't have Jota or you don't have Salah?
I don't have Salah. I've made that last year. This worked out for me, albeit I mean it was a small win in a huge loss of a season. But I didn't have Salah at this point onwards, and he tailed right off. So I'm hoping for the same to happen again. I'm putting all my eggs in everybody else's baskets. So I've got Robertson, who's been brilliant, Trent and Jota. Jota frustratingly got rested at the weekend.
He did, and that might become more of an issue for Liverpool because they've got quite a few in the front line now, which is good for Liverpool because it means they can rotate a bit like City do, but harder for us as fantasy football managers. And I suppose it's then looking at the players who are the most nailed, which is, I'd guess would be Salah. I could see him rotating Mane, Diaz, Firmino, Jota. and
Yeah,
just picking-
Diaz has mixed things up a bit, and also like Firmino wasn't in great form at the start of the season, and Jota kind of very much took advantage of that. So it's difficult. Maybe after this game week I'll look at moving Jota out, but actually his value isn't that fantastic. You know, if you look around for, I mean, I think he's 8.5 at the moment. Yeah, 8.5. So yeah, I'm a bit torn really. You know, am I going to find better at 8.5 out there?
Midfield is where the points are at the moment, isn't it? I mean, strikers
Mhm.
are pretty pointless. I've
Yeah.
now gone real budget on strikers just because I don't really want any of them. So I may as well pump money into the midfield. Arsenal, you said sort of you'd consider tripling up on Arsenal, and which obviously if you've only got 2 Liverpool at the moment. If you tripled up on Arsenal, what positions would you go for?
Well, I've already got Tierney. I was looking at Ben White and Ramsdale, both games at home. Arsenal, Wolves on a good little run, aren't they? But don't score many goals. And
Right.
Brentford obviously aren't in the best form themselves, are they? Drew 0-0 at the weekend, but before that, 6 straight league defeats. So you would think on paper that Arsenal would win the games and probably not concede many goals. So I'd be looking more at their defensive assets. As I say, I've already got Tierney. I'm looking for Ben White, who's only 0.2 million more than Livramento, who, as we know, isn't really playing at the moment or coming off the bench. So that seems like a nailed on one that I do. It's just whether you look at bringing in a third one because of this issue of then not having them available to play the following week.
Yeah, I've already I've already made my transfer this week. My one transfer, which was swapping out De Gea. Oh no, swapping out Wheater for Ramsdale. So I've bought Ramsdale in.
Wheater?
Yeah. Wheater, he's a player, not a cheese.
Or a cereal.
Or a cereal. I actually did have Wheatos for lunch earlier. Anyway, yesterday I had a bowl of Wheatos with curdled milk. Didn't realise until I felt ill afterwards, and then someone came up and said, "Oh, that milk needed thrown away. It's lumpy."
Oh.
Sweet.
Thanks for that.
Tasted like I'd had a bag of like really sour sweets, but all I'd had was bad milk. Anyway, so you're
Saka. Saka, little mention for Saka.
You do love a bit of Saka. He got subbed off early on Saturday, didn't he? I assume just for a bit of fun at the weekend. I like the idea of going for the defensive assets of Arsenal, and I like that idea. Ramsdale was good. I only had De Gea because he had a double up. Ramsdale was good for me before that. He gets lots of save points, doesn't he? And like you say, you can't get much better value than Ben White.
Yeah, and you look at the two teams they're playing. I think Wolves, to give them credit, they're not scoring bucket loads, but they are scoring. Brentford, on the other hand, look pretty well nullified, and with Tony still out, he's a doubt for this weekend. I would fancy him to keep a clean sheet at home to Brentford for sure. So yeah, defensive assets, well worth thinking about.
Okay, let's talk Wolves then. They've got a double up. And it's not on paper, if you looked at the start of the season, you wouldn't think it was a great double up. But they've got Leicester at home, Arsenal away. Wolves are in really good form and doing well in the league.
They've very quietly gone about their business, haven't they, Wolves? Without nobody really noticing. Brilliant win last time out away at struggling Spurs. But yeah, are they better for Adama Traore not being on the books anymore? Kind of feels like it's coincided with him going off to Barcelona, doesn't it?
Yeah, they've won the last 3 games, up to 37 points. They could overtake Arsenal if they beat them.
Yeah. So assets here, Jimenez, a player I've always had in and out of my teams historically. Potentially scored, obviously, the weekend. Is he potentially somebody?
He is when there's no other sort of striker options. I mean, you could get Lacazette in for Arsenal, but...
I mean, they are playing at home to a Leicester team who have been extremely leaky recently. And Leicester conceded another 2 at the weekend. So Jimenez is definitely a possibility for me. 7.4 million at the moment.
Leicester concede from set pieces a lot, which makes me kind of want Kilman or Cody.
Yeah, Cody, Wolves' highest scoring defender with 96 points this season and only 4.7 million. So definitely someone I would look at. Would
you go for anyone else on the Wolves team, Mike? Oh, Danny Podence, is he coming back?
You and Podence.
They're a team a bit like Brighton that I can never really figure out. I can never really understand why they're doing so well. There's no real standout players. So no, I don't. As in terms of FPL assets, no, Wolves aren't a team I'd really look at.
I think getting a Wolves defensive asset isn't a bad idea. Kilman's been in great form, not necessarily for FPL, but he's been playing really well. So I'd like him to get a goal soon. Defensive players. Let's talk Burnley. They've got, not only have they got a double game week this week, but they've got a double game week next week as well. So they got Brighton away this week, and then Spurs at home. Then they've got Palace away and Leicester at home the week after. Is it a case of it's all very well having double fixtures, but you're not playing very well? You're like bottom of the league.
I think
How many games in a week would Burnley have to have for you to want one of their players?
At least 4.
Yeah. Well, they've got 4 in 2 weeks.
But asset-wise, who would you realistically look at? Cornet?
Yeah, he's got a bit. I think he misses old Woodman, the wood chopper.
Yeah, Weghorst, their new signing as well, who did actually look quite lively against United. He's now a doubt, isn't he, with a leg injury? He's only 75%, so I don't think you can rely on him if you're going to bring him in. and he sat there at 6.5.
Uh,
Joe Rodriguez,
It's a long shot, isn't it, Joe Rodriguez?
Yeah,
He doesn't
one
always
goal.
play.
1 goal all season. So there you go. That kind of sums up his season and Burnley's, to be honest.
I mean, the Pope, Nick Pope, in his past 4 games, he got 10 points against Arsenal, 9 against Watford, 3 against Man United, and 3 against Liverpool. So even when he was playing the bigger teams, he still got obviously save points. He's slightly more expensive, 5.4, and you'd be picking him over someone like Ramsdale, but Ramsdale won't have a game next week, and Pope will have another 2 games.
It depends if you've got a keeper on your bench, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because I've got Ramsdale, but I've also got De Gea, so I've got options keeper wise.
Wow, look at you!
Well, that's what I do, lads. What I do. That's
What a season this man's having.
That's what a world without Salah looks like, lads. You can have 2 actual goalkeepers.
I've still got Begovic.
Ah, good
all
old
season,
Begovic.
boys. The one position I've not changed my sub keeper all season.
Okay, so Burnley, you're saying not really? Then even they're not tempting you with 4 games in 2 weeks.
No.
I mean, possibly from my side, because I mean, for you boys who are having good seasons and are well ahead of me, no. But for someone like me, again, needing to find those differentials and needing to go different, possibly, I would maybe look at Cornet. They've kind of got him back into the team slowly off the back of the African Nations Cup, but they're not. I mean, with Burnley, there's no easy game, is there? They've got 4 games, but can you foresee them getting many points out of them? I don't think so. So
They have to turn at some point, and I can
Do they,
feel
though?
myself.
Do they?
yeah, do they? I disagree.
I think they're playing quite well. They haven't got back. They've stopped getting battered. Liverpool was a close 1-0 of Fabinho scoring.
To use your milk reference from earlier,
Curdled.
Burnley. I believe Burnley are more of a long life UHT. They're not turning anytime soon.
They're not goal top.
They're not gold top. There's no chance of them becoming lumpy bumpy like the milk you had. There'll be no turning.
Okay.
The Burnley are not for turning. I believe that was a famous phrase from somebody.
Well, you, by the sounds of it.
What is it? The
I
Queen? Is it the Queen?
I don't know if you.
The phrase.
He's
Can anyone
actually
help me?
Googling.
I mean, the Queen's probably said a lot of
It's
things.
not for turning.
The Queen is
Margaret
not for
Thatcher.
turning.
Margaret Thatcher. The lady's not for turning. There you go. Went far off.
Well, they're very different people. I would suggest. Poor
Queenie.
Elizabeth. I can feel myself already.
Ironically, there was quite a lot of scandal around Margaret Thatcher and milk.
Was
I
there?
that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What
She was referred to as Maggie the Milk Snatcher.
right. There you go.
Look it up. Look it up when you get a minute, guys. But actually, that joke works on so many levels. That reference.
It does,
Milk
but
for turning. The lady's not for turning.
Burnley. What does she
Burnley.
say about Burnley? Did she like Sean Dyche? When he... what are reviews on Gravelly Voiced Men?
Well, he looks a bit like Neil Kinnock, who was leader of the opposition at the time.
Excellent. Right. So she wouldn't have liked him. So she doesn't like Burnley. I can feel myself being pulled in towards the Pope. I can just.
Oh, do it. Please do it.
I could just feel the temptation
Yeah.
coming my way. I've
Yeah,
only
do
got
it.
1 free transfer, and I haven't got many double game week players. But I
I was
could
just
just.
going to say, what kind of numbers are you looking at here? Who are going to have double game weeks? 8,
Yeah,
9?
How many have you both got
Oh,
for this
golly.
week at the moment? If you
Oh,
don't make any changes,
Yeah.
I'll
Not
have
many.
I've got
1, 2,
6.
3, 4, 5, 6 as well.
I'm happy with 6. I'll take 6.
I've got 5, and one of those is Josh King. So 4.
I don't know.
Really.
Villa away, Palace at home. Although Watford not looking too good at the moment, are they?
Watford are terrible. You could give me their players for free, and you probably wouldn't want to start them. They're not playing very well, and Roy is not an attacking manager.
He's really not. No, no. A bit of a strange appointment there. I think they're doomed to Watford, unfortunately for them. But yeah, Dennis is probably someone who'll be coming out after this double game week for me as well.
See, I bought Edouard in for Palace.
That went
because
well.
Palace had a great run of
No,
fixtures.
I was
coming up.
excited by that. And I think that store might come off.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
think it
sure about
might.
that.
I think
How
it
many?
might.
So how many points hits are you willing to take to get more double game week players in this week without trying to absolutely shaft your team for the long term?
Yeah, I don't need. I don't need to make any changes. 6. I'm happy with 6. I'm not going to gamble on any more.
Yeah. Anthony,
Yeah, same.
you've got obviously points to make up, so isn't it worth having a bit of
Well,
a
I
gamble?
might, boys. I might bring in some more. I might make some transfers, take some hits, but play my bench boost this week, boys. I may.
Okay.
I've still got triple captain,
Okay.
bench boost, and my wild card to play, so I'm in a slightly better position than Mike in terms of that. But yeah, it's a big old gap I need to close down here. So got nothing to lose, have I? Nothing to lose.
A lot of people there's a lot of chatter about triple captaining Salah.
It does feel like if you've got Salah, this is the week to play it. You would think.
Yeah, I would agree. But is it too obvious? But
It's fear of not captaining him and everyone else captaining him. But in our mini league, which is all that really matters to me, the friends and family mini league primarily, I'm quite happy with the fact that not everyone's going to captain, triple captain Salah. So I could hold off, but what's the point? Everyone else might well do it.
I think again,
It's the phenomenon. It's the phenomenon we all refer to as Fonchoak. Fonchoak.
What cheese? What?
Fonchoak. Well, you've got FOMO, haven't you? Fear of missing out. Fonchoak is fear of not captaining him against others captaining him.
Okay, great. Good stuff.
Again, I'll say this again, boys. You boys in really strong positions, nailed on. I would suggest for someone like me, I won't because I would just be joining the crowd and won't be gaining any points.
Yeah.
So at least if it doesn't come
I
up,
don't have him
down the line. Oh yeah,
I
of
don't
course you
have
don't know.
So I'm thinking that I might triple captain Robertson because I know that neither of you have got him.
It's a good shout.
Everyone's got Salah, so yeah, I've already taken a risk there. But if I can make some headway on you this week and triple captain someone you haven't got and it go well, then that closes the gap further. It's a gamble, but I think it's one I might take. I don't see anybody having better game weeks than a Liverpool at home to Norwich and Leeds.
Agreed.
Yeah, both teams can be leaky. The slight issue for me is that neither of Liverpool's games are on TV, and if I'm triple captaining a player and I can't watch either of their games, that's going to annoy me a little bit.
Is that your sole reason? I mean,
yeah, I make too many of my decisions based on am I going to be able to watch a game, with them playing. It just makes watching a game more interesting, doesn't it? FPL if you've got someone in it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Do you think out of interest, do you think Shimmercast will get a run out on either wing back?
Oh, do you think
no need
to find the audio? Thank you, Phil. Oh, okay. Well, that was lovely.
Sorry, it's so long since I've heard his name.
It really has. I mean, I forgot about it.
Do you think he might get a run out because they've just had a European game this week
tonight into Milan
tonight at time of recording tonight, and then they face Norwich and then they face Leeds and then they've got the Carabao Cup final against Chelsea. So do you think that he continues to play both fullbacks throughout all of these games?
No,
4 games on the trot. So that's my fear. I go and triple captain Robertson, and then actually he doesn't play both games.
I think at any point in the season, though, you don't know what the lineup's going to be. All you can know is that Liverpool have to win the games in the Premier League if they've got any chance of catching City up. So he's surely going to try and start his strongest team. I don't know. The thing is, they're not against great teams, so
no,
you could rotate it. You could rotate against like Leeds, who are leaky anyway. Yeah.
Oh, tricky.
Yeah, it's the same with Salah. He could rotate against Leeds and put in anyone, and they could score against.
Well, he didn't start Salah, did he? I didn't know he did start Salah this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the previous weekend he didn't start him. Yeah. Oh, I don't know, lads. I don't know. I guess there's always a risk involved, isn't there, with double game weeks that your players aren't going to play both, unless they're a keeper. I could triple captain Ramsdale
or the Pope. Yeah,
I could triple captain Ramsdale.
That's not a bad shout, but it only takes one goal, doesn't it, for him to concede? And
it does.
It's yeah. But again, with you having quite a gap to fill, you need that differential there, don't you? It's not a bad shout.
It's differential, or is it desperation at that point?
Probably both.
That's proper out there suggesting to triple captain Ramsdale, whose ceiling in points is, unless there's a penalty saved, his ceiling is what,
He's probably going to get 6. He could get 16 points for the week,
Yeah,
which
It's
gives
not-
me another 32 points.
yeah, it's fair enough. Each their own.
If you're talking about triple captain an Arsenal defensive asset, what about Tierney? You know, if you look at his
Yeah.
last 4 game weeks, 13, 8, 6, 4. I think he's on set pieces as well.
I've got him.
another
I've got him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as have I.
yeah.
I would, if you're going to choose between the two, him and Ramsdale, I would choose Tierney myself.
Not a bad shout, that, Ant.
Thanks, man. That's
Shout
fine.
that as well.
Yeah, that makes more sense to me. But even so,
I just know that Ramsdale will play both games.
But you
I
get a
don't know
triple
that Tierney won't.
captainship. You get a triple captainship once a season, and
I know it's remarkable that we're in February and
It's
I've not used it yet.
but
But use
also,
all the others.
also you're thinking triple captainship. I'm never going to have a better chance than triple captaining an Arsenal defensive asset. It just seems weird,
Mm.
but valid. You know, it could
Yeah.
well come off. Could
Yeah.
well come off. Okay. Who is the player to have this week? Now, obviously, we've been through some of the bigger names. Salah, is he a must-have? You haven't obviously got him, so let's put Salah to one side.
Too obvious. Yeah.
A side Salah, if you will.
Lovely. Like what you've done there. Who is the player to have this week? Spurs have got 2 fixtures. No one's talking about Son and Kane.
Well, yeah, because they've lost 3 straight games, haven't they? Poor Conte there. I think, again, I saw another stat. He's not lost 3 straight league games for years, and he comes into Spurs, and look what's happened. He looks like he's aged already, poor guy. But again, to say they're not the easiest games to be in understatement. City away, Burnley away. Liverpool only just beat Burnley, didn't they? Turf Moor last weekend, so they know there's, probably Burnley are quite defensively tight. So, yeah, I can't see that for a double game, anyone's going to be rushing in to get them if they haven't got them. Put it that way.
Yeah, that's true. I could go Bruno to Son just for giggles, but
Well, Son's not annoying like Fernandez is, so that would probably be, if you're looking at a nice team, Phil, one that doesn't go around kicking cats and stuff. That's probably a good start.
But I would probably get him based on his history rather than Spurs' form. If you look at the way Spurs are playing, it's not even their results. They're just not playing well.
No.
You wouldn't watch a game and go, I think I'll get one of their players in. And the same goes for Man United. They got a 2-0 win yesterday, but I was listening to it on the radio, and by the sounds of it, Brighton had control of that game until the sending off.
Yeah, they should have scored. Certainly, they had chances before the sending off. So, yep, United did sneak it though, didn't they? But yeah, they weren't exactly convincing, were they? But yeah, Spurs, unless you've got them, I think obviously if you've got Kane and Son, then you'd be keeping them in. But if you haven't got them, like I haven't, I can't see why you would bring them in.
Don't bring them in.
Not with those fixtures.
Okay.
Don't be fooled just because they've got 2 games. As we've talked about before, quite often you can have 2 harder games and 1 easy game.
And the thing is, next week you've got Liverpool and Chelsea and Arsenal who don't have a game.
Yeah.
And then the fixtures get really weird. Coming towards game week 30 or 31, there could be a week where there's like 8 teams who have got a game and no one else.
Wow.
So if you've got a free hit chip, might be worth saving it for that. I'd maybe not. Free hit is probably the chip I wouldn't use this week.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, bench boost. I can understand that if you've got plenty of players with good fixtures, because a lot of the single game week players have got decent fixtures, haven't they?
Yes.
But I've got Cucurella. He's got Burnley at home. City, every fixture is good. Coutinho has got Watford at home. Bowen has got Newcastle at home. Man United, they've got Leeds away, so it's not a bad fixture. So it's that age-old thing of and on Saturday, once Bruno blanked in the first game, I was sat there as a Bruno captainer thinking, yeah, see, now I've got Bruno and Salah having the same amount of games left, and Bruno's only got a 2-point head start. It was probably a bad idea to captain him,
Yeah.
Okay, so Mike, what are you eating? You look like you're enjoying that.
White chocolate cookie.
Oh, delicious.
Very nice it is too. I had some homemade granola with Greek yogurt and mandarins earlier. That was nice.
Mandarins?
Tinned mandarins. Very good.
Boys, it's got so bad for me. I've actually eaten a packet of ready salted crisps.
Oh, have we talked about this before?
Yes,
very
calm
gross.
down.
Oh, you have your bread sandwich.
That's how low I've been, boys.
Oh dear.
Sunk so low, ready.
I think this will be the highest scoring week ever in FPL.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, I do.
What? As an average?
No, as points for everybody. Yeah, as a highest average then. Yeah.
I think for that to happen, Salah has to do well because so many people will triple captain him.
I think because of the fixtures are so one-sided or there are double game weeks, I think there are clear and obvious teams to back this week. So and I think a lot of the inform and popular players have good fixtures. So I think this will be the highest scoring ever. There you go.
Wow.
Put it out there.
If you brought in Bruno and have no moral guidance, like unfortunately I have to get rid of him because he's a whinger. He's playing Leeds. Would you just keep him?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people would have bought in Bruno for the last double game week. But that fixture's pretty good, isn't it? Leeds look terrible.
They really do, yeah. Got torn apart by Everton at the weekend, didn't they? Defensively all over the place. Yeah.
They've got Man United and Liverpool next. Interestingly, he subbed off Rafinha at half time.
Yeah.
And then at the end was asked about, is he injured? And he was like, nope, just wasn't doing it.
Yeah, which is weird because he didn't seem to be having that bad a game at that point. So, but
you've got him, haven't you, Anne?
I have, yeah. The Rafinha who gets points for everybody. Yeah, no, the last 2-2-1 in the 3 games since I've had him. So thanks for that.
I took him out. I took him out at just the right time. I had him all season.
You did, yeah.
So I'm a bit smug about that. I did call
it.
it.
No, it's a good call. That, yeah. Unfortunately, I did the opposite, which pretty much shuts up my season, really. But there you go. Leeds need some points, but they can't see them getting any in this game week.
So what team has the best single game week fixture? Would that be Villa, who have got Watford at home? Would it be Man United, who have got Leeds away?
Ollie Watkins, who of course I was watching the Newcastle game with my son. He went, "Oh, that's good, Dad, because you got Ollie Watkins." And I knew as soon as he scored that he was offside. I just knew. You could just see in real time that he looked offside. I just knew would sum it up. But I'm going to keep him for another game week purely because of their fixture, purely because they got Watford. But again, I've dragged him through with 2 points, 2 points, 2 points. Other than that, Brighton home to Burnley. Brighton having a great season. I would potentially look at them for single games as well.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So let's have a look. Any more questions sent in? Well, we kind of discussed this, but what other chips would you use this week? We said bench boost, and are you going to play your bench boost? Or are you just thinking about it?
I'm thinking about it at the moment. It's not definite, but I need to do something, boys. I need to try something different to try and catch you boys, and it feels like it could be a good time to do it. Some of my single game players have good fixtures on paper, so it might be a good time to play it. But yeah, I think that is one, along with I think a lot of people will be triple captaining Salah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a big week, guys.
Huge week. Huge.
Oh,
make no mistake. Make no mistake. It's a massive week. A season definer. There you go. I've said it. It's a season definer.
We've done this before, though, haven't we?
It's a big week to have your captain picked by Lister. That is for sure. But our listeners are nice, so I'm sure you'll do all right.
Oh, sugar! Yeah, there was me saying I was going to triple captain. I can't do that at this rate.
I'm thinking about that. Out of all our punts, I don't know who the winner was, but I know that I got the most points, so I kind of won.
You're not picking my captain. You are not picking my captain.
Just who would you go for, by the way, Phil, if you were going to pick Mike's captain?
Well, I haven't seen his team, but
I'll share it. I'll share it now if you like.
He's a big fan of Ramsdale.
I just don't know what's going on this season. Mike's just not making changes. He's a change man.
Well, I've not made changes in the last month. I made something like 70 changes before that.
I mean, you vice captained Zaha last week, so you might need some help.
Well, I know I saw him score, and I also saw him run and jump and give one of those hugs to, like a forward-facing piggyback hug, with Patrick Vieira.
A forward-facing,
so if it was a piggyback,
right?
He'd run behind him, and then he'd grab him grab him under the legs. That's a piggyback. Imagine that on the front. That's what sort of cuddle it was.
Well, he just jumped. He just had
he jumped and he picked the cuddle, and he's got his hand under his legs there. As if you're carrying a baby around or whatever. That kind of cuddle. It was what I'm saying is he's in a happy place. He's happy playing under his manager, to the point where he wants to give him forward-facing piggybacks, piggy fronts, if you will. So
can I just stop this? we need to stop talking about forward-facing piggybacks.
What I'm saying is he feels like he's in a good place, and so off the back of that, I think he was at Brentford this weekend, so I vice captained him.
Okay,
Mike, I'm gonna throw out there. It's a very, very solid team you've got there, my friend. I like it.
Thank you, Anthony. Well, that's what a world without Salah looks like, lads.
Yeah, it's well balanced. Yeah, it's decent. It's a good core in there, isn't there? I like it. It's really good, and that's why you've been getting points and I haven't.
Oh, mate.
Oh dear.
So Phil, with my team, who would you pick as your? I'll quickly run it through for the listeners: Ramsdale, Robertson, Tierney, Alexander-Arnold, Bowen, Zaha, De Bruyne, Jota, Coutinho, Antonio, and San Maximan.
Turned all FIFA.
So you've got Antonio still, you see.
Yeah, I know. Weeks and weeks.
Sunday, by the way,
he's done nothing for me. He's done nothing for me for so long, but I just can't be bothered to change him.
2 words: Ollie Watkins.
Nah.
Didn't you triple captain Antonio when he got 4 goals?
Yeah, I did.
So
what
maybe
a week that was.
Maybe go for Antonio.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure it was me captaining that prompted him, that inspired him to score those 4 goals. Otherwise, you think just being in my team might have fired him up a little bit. So who would you pick, Phil, out of those?
Yeah, I'd probably go Trent. Like if it was my team looking at your team, I'd probably captain Trent. Norwich at home, Leeds at home. Trent doesn't have the backup that Robertson has. You know, Robertson, you know, we know he could be swapped out for Tsimikas. So yeah, I don't think there's anyone behind Trent now, is there? I mean, Nico Williams has gone to Fulham on loan, hasn't he?
Yeah, okay.
So maybe his position is more secure than Robertson's. So
good golly, Miss Molly, is that the time?
Okay.
We haven't got time to. We've sort of previewed the fixtures, haven't we? We haven't really got time for that now. Kind of covered it in full.
Well, that's your opinion, not the listeners. I'll quickly run down the fixtures. We don't have to talk about them.
Please.
Actually, someone else can. People don't need to hear my voice anymore.
Anthony,
hello.
Your dulcet tones,
the fixtures.
Please.
The fixtures. Oh no, I've just closed my browser window.
I'll tell you what. I'll do it. I'll do it, and I'll give you this. I'll give you the scores whilst I'm doing it as well, as if it's happened. Yeah. Saturday, 19th of February, 2022. Lunchtime kickoff. West Ham 2, Newcastle 2, Arsenal 3, Brentford 0, Aston Villa 4, Watford 1, Brighton 0, Burnley 0, Crystal Palace 0, Chelsea 1. Last minute winner.
Oh, this is very, very. I mean, this is the moment. Are you talking at this speed because you listen to the podcast to help you get some sleep?
This is what they do. Just give it the time and attention it deserves. Liverpool 3, Norwich City 0, Southampton 1, Everton 2, Manchester City 2, Spurs 0. Sunday, 20th of February, Leeds 1, Manchester United 1. Shock. Wolves 2, Leicester 0. Bye-bye, manager. Wednesday, the 23rd of February. Burnley. I want this played back next week, by the way. Burnley 0. Spurs 0. Watford 1. Crystal Palace 3. Liverpool 2. Leeds United 0. And finally, Thursday, 24th of February. Arsenal 0. Wolves 0. There you have it.
Okay.
That's your fixtures, not just your fixtures, but actually the results as well.
Lovely news. There we go.
It's nice to get them in advance. If only you could let us know who got the FPL points, that would have been more helpful.
That was a tough week for Salah, that's all I'll say.
Yeah, was it? Good stuff. Okay, well, let's hope I play that back to you next week. Okay, so, boys, it leaves us to choose our punts as a player with less than 2% ownership, who you think is going to do well this game week. So, who are you going for, gents?
Jordan Henderson.
Oh gosh.
Wow. Double game week.
Jordan Henderson.
Mike frantically scrolling now on the FPL
I absolutely am.
His little eyes. Phil, who are you going for?
I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and go for James Tarkowski.
Oh, okay. Again,
James Tarkowski.
It does reek a little of desperation.
But I mean,
Yeah.
you are
He's got
the reigning
1 point-
punt champion, so there we go.
Well, this is true. 1.3% ownership. He costs 4.9 million. So I prefer to spend that much on him on this game rather than in my
Yeah,
real
agreed.
FPL team.
Mike, have you found somebody yet?
I'm going to go for Ruben Neves.
Wow,
Oh,
that's a good shout. You know, has he got less than 2% ownership? Good grief.
Yeah,
That's a great shout.
yeah. It's only got 1%.
If
Less than
I
1%. Less than 1%.
wow. Okay, that's a good call, that Mike. I like that.
Thanks.
Well, that's okay. So, gents, I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. I hope you liked the theme song for the quiz. I did spend at least 10 minutes on that, so I hope it was okay for you.
Joyous.
It's a shame we'll never hear it again, but
Well,
breaks.
it just takes
breaks.
it just takes me to win a punt, and we're playing player or cheese again.
Okay.
Oh, good grief. Okay.
There's hundreds of different local cheeses in the world, thousands probably. Many of them the same, I'd suggest taste-wise. But anyway,
What a game.
favorite cheese quickly.
Dairy Lee.
What? What?
Love a bit of Dairy Lee.
Lee?
Love a Dairy Lee dunker.
Are you 5? That's
Oh.
incredible.
Tickler Vintage. You can only get it in Waitrose. It does cost a lot of money.
What would you
It's a
rather?
vintage cheddar.
Tickler Vintage is good. What would you rather run out of first? The Dairy Lee or the Dunkers?
Oh.
Hmm.
Hang
The
on.
Dunkers, because then the
Yeah.
last Dunker.
You're
You-
going in.
you
You're going
know
in all fingers. You
you're going last.
absolutely filthy beast.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why he's top.
Yeah. I don't mind getting my fingers and thumbs in there and licking out the old Dairy Lee.
Wow.
Okay.
That
Nice
is.
mental image.
Let's sound clip that for the end of season with a little
I
bit of
would
Barry,
go-
with a little bit of Barry White in the background.
Hang on, Michael, please. We don't need to talk about Barry White. Anthony's going to tell us his favourite
Sorry.
cheese.
No, he's going to tell. Is he not going to tell me about whether he ran out of Dairy Lee or Dunkers first?
Okay.
No. I'm going for Lancashire, boys.
Lancashire. That's just-
Lancashire.
we didn't say
Crumbly
favourite county.
Lancashire.
Crumbly Lancashire cheese.
Honestly, get some on your next food shop, boys.
Oh, I've had
Change
some.
your
Well,
life.
can you? Can you even
Yes.
get some on your
Of
next
course
food
you
shop?
can. We get it from Tesco's all the time. There are other supermarkets
Lancashire
available.
cheese
It's horrible.
Lancashire cheese. It's delightful. I love it.
all the time. Next time I'm round your house, I've got to inspect your fridge for Lancashire cheese.
Please do. You love it, please.
I've never heard of Lancashire cheese.
You've never heard of Lancashire? Oh, you're such
It's
a
horrible.
softie.
It's
You're
horrible
such a
stuff.
Softie. Is it though? Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think
Is
we
it-
might, be
is
coming over,
fascinating.
we might be coming over Saturday night. I might have just invited myself.
Is it as nice? Is it as nice as a good Slovenska Paranika?
I wouldn't know, mate. I haven't tried it. Maybe you could buy me some.
It's probably as available as Lancashire cheese, the
Guys.
Slovakian one. Anyway,
Guys, I hate to go on this, but we gotta go now.
thank you very much. It's actually pronounced Gouda. If you learned nothing from Stefan de Jong, last year's league winner.
Sorry,
It's
Stefan.
Gouda. Okay, gents, have a great weekend. A good double game week, and we'll be back on the other side to cry together.
The lady's not
Cheers,
returning.
Bye bye.